Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm Aman, and today I'll be talking about the RSC Competencies Toolkit. So, this is a community project that we started a while ago, and now we're trying to mature the project, develop it further, and also get input from fellows. So I'm not sure. I think like a few people here might be familiar with the project already, but since we also have like a lot of new fellows, I think it might be a good introduction to it. And it's an open call for just, yeah, helping out if you'd like to. And yeah, getting to know more about it. So originally we started this in CW 23. So during the hack day, we developed this project and it kind of took up from there. And then there have been like multiple community calls and contributions to it. And yeah, there's like a big team of people. So I started initially uh, on the sort of original group of people uh, for the hack day, but then yeah, I haven't been contributing lately, but I've got involved recently more. But initially it was kind of yeah, just the effort via the hack day, and then I think it has been led by a good chunk of people that may not be in this list as well. So the motivation for the project. So yeah, basically this project is the competencies toolkit. So when we were, I think, deciding what we want to do for the hack day, we were thinking about yeah, just sort of the general conversation around RSCs, upskilling, and just sort of understanding skills and looking at career pathways for RSCs. So the original motivation has been very centric to RSCs. I mean, that also reflects in the name of the project, which is RSC's Competencies Toolkit. So we focused it on RSCs and thought of, okay, what do we think of skills that RSCs might need? What do we think of uh, things that people need to do to say proceed or to assess themselves or to just, yeah, sort of have a career path and look at the different things that they need to work on. And we decided that, yeah, if we have something together in forms of a framework or in terms of a skill set, because there's already been work done in different groups. So, again, you might know these from your own group or another group that you heard of, that they have been doing like their own version of the competencies toolkit. So, there's already been like a lot of good work done, but I think it's very localized to the group. So what we planned was to kind of develop a professional framework for RSEs. I've added the and beyond in brackets. I'll get to that in a while. But basically, now what we're looking at in the framework is kind of expanding it to digital research professionals in general, rather than just RSEs. But again, like the motivation, as I said, it started out as very RSE centric. So I think it is still built around that, and we'll like to sort of expand it. And I think like we have fellows as well working on this. So taking this into different fields and getting input from yeah folks around just yeah uh, having say even a non-technical background would be helpful. So the first goal was to just kind of measure the existing competencies and compare against the standardized roles that people have. So this can be technical skills, this can be interpersonal skills, professional skills. Then to plan the pathway forward and to think of a desired role, to understand the competencies that they would be required to develop, and then ultimately to provide resources to learn those skills that they want to upskill in. So this is the overall plan that was originally sought out. These are the use cases. So as I mentioned, like yeah, like one major use case is reflection and recording and visualizing your own competency profile. Uh, a second practical one would be a PDR. So when you're looking at performance within a group or for yourself, so comparing the competency profiles and determining the development pathway forward. Then upskilling. So again, finding new skills that you would want to look at, and also finding the resources for that. And then standardization. So this I think is kind of the long-term goal because, as I said, there are a lot of localized versions of the competencies toolkits, or just sort of how different teams choose to look at competencies and how they standardize sort of what skill level is defined across each team. But if we do end up building something more universal, which can be adapted locally, it might be more helpful. Uh, so resources, I'll talk briefly about what the toolkit consists of. So there is a website that is the main point of interaction for the toolkit, where the website will guide you through the steps of creating the development pathway. We have a website which has some sort of template pathway, template sort of skill wheels already. So this is again kind of not exactly connected to all the skills that we've been working on, but this is the template website that was set up, and this is something that also kind of needs further work on. Slides have disappeared. Just a second. I'll try to deeper. Yeah. Okay. Uh, so yeah, we have the website, then we have visualizing those skills. So again, the initial model that we looked at, I think this was inspired from the CSCCE, from what I remember, but I think it was like a mix of a few different inspirations. But we came up with the skills wheel where you could determine what are the different skills across a wheel and also look at how advanced someone is in that skill. So this is again kind of very rough idea of it. I think there is a new sort of planned version to it where the skills are divided at different levels rather than just what we see here. But it's basically you're looking at, say, the competencies someone might define right now, and then looking at competencies that can be added, or you can see what is the level of the skill in each of those sort of frameworks. And then the final bit would be the training resources. So to look at the skills first, and then to look at all the available upskilling options that you might have, or at least an explanation of what the skill might be talking about. So there's been a lot of related work, and if folks here or might have attended RCCon, we had a session at RCCon as well, where I think there was a big realization that there needs to be a big focus on interpersonal skills. That's, I think, something that came out to be quite a big finding, which yeah, we got a lot of interpersonal professional skills in the play and looked at, yeah, like what do we do to expand this just beyond the technical skills that we were looking at. So there's been a lot of other projects. So there's been the German RSC, DERC teaching paper. Then there's the uh, Turing's professional traditional infrastructure research roles in data science. The UKRI has Skills Network Plus, and the Met Office has something, and I think there is like something by the Australian Research Data Commons as well. So there's a lot of related work, and we're trying to look at how do we one look at all these different frameworks and different tools developed and sort of get inspiration from them and get everything together. And then also, how do we take it forward in ways that is inclusive of just not just RSEs, but also research technical professionals? So the sort of more or less the purpose for today's sort of presentation is one to just spread awareness amongst fellows about the project, but then for the upcoming sort of stuff that we have in the project, one we're looking at, yeah, adapting the framework for beyond RSE. So this extends to digital research professionals, data stewards, community managers. But again, there's a lot of different yeah, ways to it. There's a lot of different opinions to it. So I don't think, yeah, it is quite feasible to develop something that one sort of tool that fits all, but we're looking how we can adapt it to as many people as possible. Uh, on the back of that, there has been also a conversation around potential renaming of the tool itself. So I've pasted some options in the shared notes. I'll try to open that up. Uh, let's see. Yeah, so I've pasted some options here, and these are again kind of the initial options that people were thinking of in terms of renaming. Again, some people were not quite happy, say, with the word technical, or some people didn't like digital, some people liked it both. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of to get a straw poll from folks here on what you think might be appropriate. Feel free to like add a +1 on any name that you feel might be more reflective of what the tool might inculcate of. But yeah, this is in no way supposed to be kind of a deep dive into the name of the tool or having looked at every nitty-gritties. This is, yeah, just kind of what is your first impression of it. So we're looking to rename it, and we'll also, I think, poll on the RC Slack soon. And then we also are working on a workshop submission for CETA Flu. So first, yeah, contributions are welcome. I think the deadline is the end of this week. So over the next couple of days, if someone has anything to add or anything that they'd like to, yeah, for us to think of for our submission, you're more than welcome to join. I'll talk about the communication channels where you can find all these resources. And then if we get selected for the workshop, we'll also be inviting people to give feedback on the framework itself during the workshop. So that would be looking at all the skills that we have so far, sort of, uh, yeah, noted down, or what skills there might be missing, or what other things that you could have in such a framework. Uh, Beyond that, yeah, so these are the different links. So I think the main communication channel is the UK RSC Slack. So there is an RSC Competencies Toolkit channel, uh, where you can kind of, yeah, look at what all is going on, and people usually just pop in a message there. There's a mailing list that you can join. Then there's the GitHub repo, and then yeah, once you join the channel, you'll see, like, yeah, there are community calls and there's shared notes. But yeah, if there's anything that people would like to know in specific, I'm happy to sort of have a chat or, yeah, send you more links. But yeah, I think that's for my time. Thank you.